Mark Zuckerberg wants you to make a statue of your wife.
Smell-o-vision might be closer than you think.
Dang, I didn't think I would sign my life away by signing up for that Disney Plus.
And how not to get caught selling forged artwork.
From Southern California's largest paint and sip studio, Spotlight with Purple Easel.
Welcome to Purple Easel Spotlight, where we put the spotlight on artists and creatives. My name's LaToya.
And I'm Megan.
And we're both art instructors here at Purple Easel, the world's largest art and sip studio.
It is art and sip, yeah. But we paint, you know.
Paint and sip studio. And today we're going to have a lovely episode for you today, as always. So stay tuned. But as always, Megan, before we get into the episode, what's going on with your life?
So I was thinking, and this can be a rather dangerous thing sometimes, about how I had mentioned briefly colored pencil painting in a recent episode. I don't remember what the context was, but I dug out my book.
Oh, okay.
And it details like different ways that you can layer colored pencil, some color theory stuff. It's super cool. There's my receipt.
Ooh.
But I've done a few, nothing to this scale. These are insane. And I was like, I want to start a new project.
Okay. So you did?
I did. And it was ill-fated from the very beginning because I'm like, I got all my stuff out and I was like, you know what? This one deserves a drawing board. Like a real project isn't just a scrap of paper you leave on the desk.
Okay.
So I was like going to tape it down, only to discover I have no tape. And you can't just use normal tape. You have to use either artist tape, which is great at sealing the edges, but it will rip paper sometimes.
Yes.
So I've gotten used to using just blue painter's tape.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The thinner one. Just because it comes off cleanly and it's really the best thing I found. But I was going to tape it all down and like preserve my edges. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to do that because I don't have tape. So I'm like, I'm just going to freehand it. And then on top of everything else, I was like, I'm not going to use tracing paper this time. I'm going to sketch it like a real artist. Well, after several attempts... First, I put a horizon line on the back. You can't even see it. It's really light. And then I realized that's not going to work. And I had some smudges that I couldn't erase. And I was very sad. And then so I did another one. And I realized I'm running out of space at the top. So that's not going to work. And I flipped it over. But now it's like at the bottom. And there's no border. There's no extra room. And I'm really upset about it.
Who says P?
But that got me to thinking, like, this art teacher I had, it was a community college class. It was composition and design. And I think it's the single most class where I learned the most.
Okay.
And that teacher introduced me to Bristol paper.
Okay.
Which is what that is on. It's super smooth and like fantastic. And it's kind of thick.
Yeah. It's like cardstock, but not cardstock.
So it gives it kind of some like importance and weight. And it's beautiful for pen and ink. And he always taught us to like lay out your sheet. We had our little T-squares and everything. And, you know, keep your art to the center, leave lots of space around it so you can mount it or frame it or whatever. And it was just invaluable things I still think of all the time. And I just love Bristol. I love it. It's like my go-to paper, even though this is not pen and ink. And honestly, probably not even the best choice because I can only get so many layers of colored pencil because there's not a lot of tooth on it. But I just like the finish that it gives.
Yeah.
And this is not completed. This is just,
Ooh,
just 6 hours of work yesterday.
It's absolutely stunning. I love it so much. I keep staring at it.
Well, thank you. But here's a work in progress. And I just wanted to say, if you've never experimented with Bristol paper because you never took a class and had somebody tell you you need to, do it.
You know what? I have Bristol paper and I feel like my instructors didn't tell me much about it. It's just like, here, buy this.
Yeah.
So that was a good little rundown as to like why you should buy Bristol paper.
I love it. I love it. It's great for marker. It works for colored pencil, obviously. You can use it for any pen and ink. It can take a little bit of ink wash or even watercolor because it's thicker, even though it doesn't have a big tooth on it. It's just very versatile.
Ooh.
I like it.
Go get your Bristol paper.
Get some Bristol paper.
Nice.
So that's what I was thinking of, and here we are.
Nice. Well, very lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that.
What you got?
Just the paint your pet that we did last week.
It was so good.
It was
so good.
It was. We had about 45 people, and if you guys aren't familiar with Paint Your Pet here, we take your animals, your little babies, and we project the image on a canvas, and then we take a Sharpie, and then we render it, sketch it out, outline it, da-da-da-da. And so you have your shadows, and then like your non-shadows essentially.
Should have had an example.
Oh.
Why didn't we have an example?
Nah.
Anyhow,
I'm like, or is the producer gonna bring?
I mean, maybe if there's one to bring.
We'll see. But essentially, you come in, paint your pet, and it's so fun. This was the last, like, we haven't had a huge group like that in a long time. And oh, here we go.
Yay!
Thank you, producer.
This just in.
It's so cute. I love this dog because this dog reminds me of, like, diabetes. The guy that's like diabetes. So cute. I did this sketch a while ago.
I love this.
So you can kind of see what we're talking about with, like, this is where your darks are going to go. This is where another dark bit is going to go. Like, this is where your dark areas are going to be, and your lighter areas are not touched with the Sharpie so much.
And the best part is there's no guessiness to line work. Like, you're getting the shape.
Yeah.
It's straight from your picture. So you don't have to draw it, which is the hard part, which is why I normally use tracing paper, because I'm like, I'm going to skip the hard part and get to the fun stuff.
Yeah. So we could like put up some little either TikTok or Instagram reel or something, because we had some footage from Paint Your Pet.
Oh, I took so many pictures.
Yes, you took a lot of pictures. Thank you for that. And yeah, it was just a fun old time. I didn't even get to finish my pet. That's how like busy we were.
Yeah.
Which was really nice. So, and everybody kept talking about the music. I don't know. It was just, I kept telling them it was just on when I got here. I don't know whose playlist this is, but everyone loved the music.
It changes everything.
And that's what they were saying. They're like, oh, and there was one lady I was talking to, and she said that she went to another paint and sip where she paints her animal, but they didn't explain anything about white dogs like we did.
Oh.
And that's what I said. I was like, oh. That's a very important. She's like, you guys didn't, like, they didn't talk about undertones or like this and that when it came to that. And they just said, here, do it. And I was like, that's why we're the best.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So
Paint Your Pet.
yeah, I know. We love Paint Your Pet because we also like to hear about your animal stories.
Yeah, I like seeing the different pets, the birds and the lizards. And it's challenging for us as assistants too. Like, how can we tackle this? It's like this stupid thing.
You're like using your brain power.
Water. Okay, water. It's so hard. I forgot how hard art can be sometimes. Like, because there's just this mental portion of like, how do I achieve that with this?
And you get to see that in real time. So when you do the thing and the customer's like, whoa, I wouldn't have even, like, my mind's blown. We're like, use the brain power. Because you have to manipulate shapes sometimes. You have to manipulate colors. There's a whole thing when it comes to correcting and doing art.
Tiffany and I were discussing it because it was her first time assisting. And basically how sometimes you have to make things up because like the pictures won't show the depth, right? And so you have to have some third dimension. And so you have to put shadows in when maybe there aren't really very many shadows just to define the shape a little better.
Yeah, 1000%.
People they struggle with that. Yeah. Just make it up. Gotta make it up.
Totally
makes sense.
And so for our art news as to why we were talking about Mark Zuckerberg wants to have you make a statue of your wife is because he said, bring back the Roman tradition of making sculptures of your wife.
Okay.
Right?
What was the context for that? Just cause?
Just cause.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we should have more sculptures.
Yeah.
Sculpture, I feel like a little bit of a lost art. I mean, they still exist. And modern sculptures are much different than ancient sculptures.
Yeah.
They've changed a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of which, so the artist that made this sculpture is Daniel Arsham. I think that's how you say it.
Sure.
And so me and Ian went to go look at his work, and he has a lot of like teal metallic things, kind of, I don't know why exactly. It's just like big giant teal and then big giant metallic. And so I have something to say about that one. But going back to Mark Zuckerberg's picture real quick, I just love this picture of his wife drinking coffee next to her statue. Like, I love this for her so much. I'm like, classic. And it's just chilling in their backyard.
Yeah, that's, wow. Just in the backyard.
Yeah, just in the backyard chilling. I thought that was kind of cool.
These little angels or cherubs or dragons, statuaries, you know, just get your wife up there.
Exactly. I think this is really cool. I love this picture of her next to it. But back to the original artist. We weren't really feeling it a whole lot just because a lot of his art looks kind of incomplete and it looks like purposefully incomplete. So you can see a little bit of what I'm talking about, like at the bottom part of the statue where you can kind of see the rods.
Oh, the base. Yeah. The structure portion.
Yeah. And he keeps that in some of his paintings. So we're like, not the biggest fan. So I told Ian, sculpt me. Okay. But this is the artist that I want you to choose for my sculpting. Hossein Bizadi. I hope I didn't butcher his name, but this is his art.
What?
And they're like reliefs coming out of the wall.
What?
I want to be goddess. Anyways.
I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good way to be immortalized.
Yes, this is how I want to be immortalized, is through him.
That's pretty fantastic. Well, it makes me think of like graveyards and tombs, and you know, like there used to be such an artistry around it, and they would put the likeness of people, whether it was a sarcophagus or like just in a temple or whatever, and we don't do that anymore. Headstones have gotten boring.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Flat.
I love
easier upkeep, but still boring.
When you look at not just infrastructure, but like things back in the days, they were made with such like care and craft, and I feel like in modern times there's not as much.
Everything's mass produced and
because
get it over with. Yeah,
it's not that important.
Yeah, let's order your headstone.
Yeah,
you know, like
not a lot of customizing.
That's boring.
Yeah,
maybe that's what I want. Maybe I just want a custom whatever. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go cremation route or traditional burial. Yeah. Something to support an artist, even in my death. That's my plan.
They have those like little ashes that they make resin art or like a record or something.
Yeah, all kinds of options. There's so many options out there.
Think about it.
Cool.
Or when you die.
We're getting existential.
That was a dark turn.
That was speaking of. Oh, no, it's not dark at all.
Okay.
So smell-o-vision. We've always dreamed of it. I wish my TV would smell when I'm watching Food Network. But a new exhibit is opening in the UK to feature scents along with their paintings.
That's, I love candles, so I like this.
And it makes me think, honestly, of Soarin' Over California or whatever, the ride at Disney, California Adventure, and they have like you lift up and you're going through like the drone view of, across the world, but they have scents pop up, like they have it smells like orange trees when you're going over the oranges and stuff like that. But for example, we have fresh cut grass for the meadow in The Blind Girl is being featured.
Not necessarily fresh cut grass, but if it was something like minty, eucalyptus, and mixed with fresh cut grass, I think that'd be good.
I'm sure it's probably nuanced. They've partnered with like perfume companies to get the right things and things that won't damage the paintings, and it's optional. So like you press a button kind of thing. So you don't have to.
Just about to ask, like, do you go up to the painting like,
it's not scratch and sniff. It is not scratch and sniff.
They're like, don't touch it.
Still don't touch the painting, please. But I had to include this one too because rainbows.
Yes, we were just talking about that,
right? But I think that's really cool because the whole purpose of this particular painting is it's the blind girl, and so she's experiencing the world in a different way, and it really kind of transports you. And I think that's really clever. They've got some that have like some religious scenes with incense and things like that. There was an experiment in 2022 at another gallery where they recreated the fragrances of plants and flowers depicted by the sense of smell. The 1618 painting by Jean Rugel the Elder and Peter Paul Rubens. I don't know why that had that accent, but whatever. But they found that visitors spent more time looking at it with the scent. It went from an average of 32 seconds of viewing to 13 minutes.
Dang.
Yes. That's shocking to me in the age of instant gratification that somebody will actually sit there and really look at a work for that long.
It's like a whole new dimension of taking it in.
It is. It's really more immersive. It makes you in that place and discovering it in a different way. I think it's pretty cool.
I dig it.
Yeah, I'm into it. Now we just need to go to UK.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No big deal.
It's not in America.
Wah, wah.
Well, you were talking about Disney rides just a moment ago, so I'm going to bring up some Disney news, and there's an update on this one.
Oh, yay. We like that.
Yes. So, a man tried to sue Disney because his wife died from eating food containing allergens at a Disney World restaurant.
Okay.
And the craziest thing is he was suing Disney for only like $50,000. I feel like if Ian were trying to sue, he better sue.
Right. That's yeah, all right, here you go.
Yeah,
go away now.
Yeah, peanuts. Peanuts for Disney. But Disney was like, nah, because back in 2019, you signed up for Disney Plus for a 1-month trial. And in the fine print, it says it requires trial users to arbitrate all disputes with the company. So like, no. But back to being peanuts, the 50,000 peanuts, they could just give them the money. They could just give it to them. But anyways, the update on that is because of the whole backlash on this whole thing, they're going to do it. They're going to.
They should do it.
Yeah.
They should. Like, because what I understand, she asked specifically.
Yes. She was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
And they were like, yeah, we're good. You're good. There's no allergens. Like, it's not like she didn't do her due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
They gave her incorrect information.
Yeah.
Also, something that happens at the theme park versus something you signed up for online, like, yeah, disputing your Disney Plus account, not necessarily my wife dying because you told her there was nothing in the thing that she ate.
It's just in bad taste. It's just bad taste.
Literally. It is in bad taste.
It is very.
It's a tragedy and it's sad for that family and it should never happen, but like,
come on,
make it right.
Yeah,
make it right. Like, don't hide behind the fine print. Come on.
I understand that Disney's trying to say like, okay, this restaurant technically has nothing to do with us. They're just here. But still.
Well, like downtown Disney, all the businesses that are there are still under the Disney umbrella. They still have to follow the Disney rules, even though they're separate corporations. And it sometimes is a problem because you get, you know,
sort of
especially with some major brands, but just pay the money.
Yeah.
Just pay the money.
Literally at like $5 for you.
There. That's sad state of affairs. Although if it had gone to court, I feel like somebody would have been like, legally, here's this loophole that doesn't fall under this umbrella.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they would have been able to look good on Disney for being like, we don't need to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, well.
Are you finding more art in random places again?
Not me. Not me. So a man was finally arrested after attempting to sell a forgery
Okay.
of what was supposedly a Da Vinci for $1.4 million to some sucker in Milan back in 2022.
Okay.
And the only reason it was caught was because customs wouldn't let it go through with his expired export license.
Really?
It was a legit license.
Wow.
It just happened to be expired.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Right. So they confiscated the artwork, ended up sending it off to a museum, got it authenticated, which they couldn't. They're like, nah, this is a copy still from like the 16th century, which cool, some old art, but ultimately not Da Vinci. Not worth 1.4 million.
That's crazy. I feel like, okay, I watched this show called To Catch a Smuggler, and I love this show because it's not just smuggling. It's not just about drugs all the time.
Yeah.
It's stuff like this.
Right.
So I'm like,
is that the one where they go through and like they inspect and they tear things apart? Oh, my dad was watching that. That's very interesting. People are very creative.
Oh my God. I could go on about the craziest thing. Yeah.
But yeah, just for a piece of paper is really what it came down to. Like, you just didn't cross your T's and dot your I's, and you could have got away with it.
Yeah, totally.
Although, to be fair, maybe the person thought it was legitimately, because it is an old painting.
Yeah.
Just not the right old painting.
Dang, that's insane.
That's
crazy.
nuts. Imagine, like, when you order your Amazon package, right? And it just doesn't show up. And you're like, yo, what's the holdup? Oh, it got stuck in customs. Yeah, because it's fake.
Dude, that's crazy.
Imagine being on the other end of that, like, whoa, I dodged a bullet.
That, and they're probably expecting, like, oh man, I'm going to get my millions. I'm going to get my money.
Right. I'm going to have a Da Vinci. Sorry, bud. Sorry.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Good news.
Yeah.
Good news.
Good news. Putting the violent criminals away one at a time.
Exactly. So today we're going to be talking about beauty.
Yeah.
And how we humans are obsessed with beauty since the dawn of time. And what inspired this episode was Mark Zuckerberg getting the statue of his
Wanting
wife.
goddesses. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
So I wanted to talk about what is beauty, the length that we go for beauty, makeup, face alterations throughout history and cultures, plastic surgery, and more. How beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So let's go back to ancient Egypt, shall we? So, of course, the ancient Egyptians did it first, dating all the way back to 6000 BCE. They believed makeup was next to godliness. Yes, and that it would appeal to the gods. Both men and women wore makeup, but I didn't know this, that it was for, like, the poor and the rich. Like, everybody wore makeup.
Oh, interesting. There was no distinction.
Yeah, I thought it was just for the rich.
I'm sure the quality of the makeup was different.
So, yes. So, the poor folks, they would, like, have their makeup in, like, little clay pots, where the rich folks would have them stored in, like, ivory bejeweled applicators. And it was a lot more fancier and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Get some dye liner going. I love it.
Exactly. So it's known as kohl, which is like coals, like spelled like coals.
KHOL. Yeah.
Yes. Which was that black eyeliner that we see them depicted in. Yeah.
Don't mind me. Just dyslexic. It's fine.
And it was accompanied by wearing blue or green eyeshadow.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yes.
Look at you. I just went with gold.
Oh, well, I mean, it's the same thing, because I feel like I've seen them in gold.
I feel like, yeah, it's goldy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that's an Egyptian
it's fine.
thing.
It's fine. We're fine. It's cool.
Yes. So they also made wigs and hair accessories.
Oh.
Right? Wigs were more for the wealthy, though. That I didn't know, actually. I thought everybody wore
What
wigs.
is with that? Why? Why in history are we, like, making wigs for high uppity people? Like, think of George Washington and all the stupid white powdered
wig,
yes. Like, why is that a thing?
I don't know.
There's has to be some sort of, like, cultural significance to it, right?
Is it just to look good?
Deep questions. I don't know. We have to go into the history of wigs.
Yeah,
This
totally.
is another rainbow
Yeah.
situation. Why do we find ourselves here all the time?
Right?
Anyway, wigs, go on.
So in this picture, children typically had shaven heads or with a side lock of youth, which is a single plait wart on the side of the head. And, that was trending at the time. I don't think it's
pretty rat tail. Is that what you're seeing right now?
That's what I'm like, I don't see it. But, if you were to take an Egyptian now and then show them what we're into, they'd be like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
So it's just,
That's fair.
yeah, just history. I just was like, this is what was trending at her.
I mean, whatever. Girls are shaving like the underside and that part of the head. So it's kind of coming back.
What's her name? Twigs, SKK. She's in the Pro movie.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah. Anyways, she's got not in the movies, but she's doing it's giving vampire goth. I actually really like it. I feel like she's one of the only people that can pull this off. But half her head's shaven, and she has no eyebrows, so it's all just shaved, right? And then the hair though is in the back, and she wears these cool attachments and have tribal stuff, and she looks
like Uber mullet.
Yeah. And it's just giving vampire goddess
Cool.
emo.
Although the
gothy.
no eyebrow thing is a little weird to me. Do you know Lucille Ball shaved off her eyebrows for a role and they never grew back? She had to pencil them in the rest of her life.
Oh no!
Right? How sad.
That's good to know because
don't shave your
eyebrows. I want to shave my because I barely have any. So I'm
Don't do it.
Okay, I won't do it.
Don't do it.
So now, as we travel to 1500s Europe, big foreheads are trending. Big foreheads are trending. They're a thing. And women of high status start to pluck their eyebrows to make their forehead appear bigger.
Okay. So I thought thin eyebrows was pretty much just a 90s thing. In fact, I was bowling and at one of the bowling alleys we go to, they have music videos playing.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so distracting because I have not seen most of these music videos at all or in many, many years. And there was one with Gwen Stefani and I was like, oh my gosh, she looks so 90s.
Yeah.
So 90s with the dark lipstick and the tiny little eyebrows. And I was like, wow.
It's interesting how things just be trending. I feel as I was going through this episode, I was like, oh, this was just trending at the time. Didn't use the word, obviously, but
Fads.
yeah, definitely fads. So also just FYI, if you're going to my medieval themed wedding, this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. But the infamous white lead makeup was trending all the way back up to the late 1800s in Europe. Vinegar and white lead was used to make the foundation.
Again, why? I mean, I get the kind of your alabaster skin untouched by natural elements because you live in a hovel. But I don't get the ghostliness of...
I wanted to cover geisha. I didn't in this episode just because I know we have limited time.
Yeah.
But I don't actually know if that's the case, but I assume it's because the white
purity.
There's a beauty in that.
Yeah.
It's my assumption.
Yeah.
So it was thought that Elizabeth I's death may have been caused by the chronic lead poisoning and the combination of the dangerous chemicals in her cosmetic, such as arsenic and mercury.
No big deal.
That's what they used back in the days.
It's fine.
Yeah. We got the microplastics now.
Yeah. There's always something that's going to kill us. It's fine.
Exactly.
Evolution.
So just another FYI, if you're going to my medieval themed wedding and you aren't dying of lead poisoning, are you having a good time? Are you even having a good time?
I don't know. Maybe we need to
I need to just put lead in the charcuterie. This is real medieval.
just in case you want to make your experience authentic.
Yeah, totally. So going back to pink. Pink, in my opinion, was never strictly for girls.
Agreed.
Because in the 1700s, both men and women wore pink for status, wealth, and power. It wasn't gender related. So I just want to say this picture, by the way, fabulous.
That's so fantastic. I can't. Oh my gosh.
the fabric looks so
It's so good. So like satiny, silky.
Yeah.
He must have been sweating so much.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
No smell-o-vision.
So in the 1800s, the pastel colors were trending. So pink was also kind of like a youthful thing. And also back then it wasn't called pink. Basically, the later half of the 18th century, it was called carnation.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But it's like if you want to appear young, wear carnation.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, but with the powdered wig, because
Yeah.
you need to look simultaneously young and distinguished.
I know there's a thing about the powder wigs. But yeah, like obviously gray hair is going to make you look older. So were you trying to like appear, is it like kids now how they,
knowledgeable
yeah, like they want to be
and
older.
wise.
When you're young, you want to be older. And then when you're old, you want to be young.
Yeah, the youth is wasted on the young. Absolutely. Yeah. Mhm. I love that he's holding a paint palette, by the way.
That's
Can we just
exactly
address
why
that? That's fantastic.
Yes.
Although those are awfully nice clothes. I hope he doesn't get paint on.
I thought that. And I was thinking, you know what? Did they have paint clothing back then? Like that you would wear?
probably had aprons of some sort or smocks or something if they cared enough to protect it. I mean, there's us and we have paint all over our clothes and we don't, once it's painted on, it's painted on.
Right.
This is now work clothes. But I worry sometimes for our guests when they come in and they're in their cute little outfits and I'm just like, here's a couple aprons.
Yeah.
Cover that up.
Pair shoes as well.
Yeah.
All right, so bringing it back to today, even though this is an old technique, but it's still used in some African and Asian cultures, are the neck rings.
They
They're
still
very
do it?
Yes. And I love the neck rings. I love them. And I'm not mad at them because long necks and long limbs are a beauty standard that we have of like today here in America.
Yeah.
So the neck stretching is mostly illusionary. The weight of the rings push down on the collarbone, eventually like to the upper ribs, about 45 degrees, lower than what's normal. So
Interesting.
it's not your neck getting longer, it's just your shoulders getting shorter.
Your posture's probably, I mean,
Yeah.
it's controlled, really.
Yeah. And this is kind of what it looks like when you don't have the
Wow.
rings on, which is kind of, it sucks because the color of the, okay, you know when you're doing the makeup and then you take a picture and it's super bright and the rest of your skin,
Yeah.
it's like
And
the
it looks
reverse
like
with the rings.
Bruising or something along the collarbone, too, which
Very much so.
I would imagine is probably uncomfortable.
Yes.
Although there are times, I have a spinal deformity, and there are times where my head feels too heavy for my neck. Like I just can't hold it up anymore.
Oh, no.
That's when you'll see me like laying back on the counter trying to stretch out because I just can't hold my head up anymore. It's just too heavy.
Dang.
Yeah. I'm like, I kind of wish I had something to just do it for me.
Just, much nicer. But I wanted to end this journey on more modern times, on a more modern note, and talk about plastic surgery.
Let's go.
So how much is too much? Why do we continue to alter our bodies in the pursuit of beauty?
We have an aversion to aging. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so like
Bad.
bad.
Yeah.
And Hollywood continues to perpetuate it because we see these women go through so much to stay looking young and relevant. And I think, and my dad has always maintained that women don't even hit their prime until their 40s. Like you just, there's something about your body being lived in a little bit that adds to the beauty.
I 1000%. Not just because I am 40.
Yeah, not just because of that. Like we have to believe that, right? We're like, we have not peaked yet. It's okay.
Yeah, it's totally fine. But I 1000% agree with you. And in fact, this image went viral a few months ago, and it's of the surgeon proving that filler doesn't dissolve like they say it does. It just collects around the face. So this is just the image of the filler. Yeah, and everybody's like, oh my gosh.
Well, what did they expect?
Yeah,
really?
No, honestly, I was not surprised. I was like, yeah, that checks out.
That's you're shoving stuff under your skin. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It just makes your skin look tighter. It doesn't actually.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just in there now.
So I'm led to believe that if the Egyptians had plastic surgery, they would all look like cats. And they're not too far off because I feel like when you get too much plastic surgery, you look like a cat person.
I mean, generally people tend to do their nose a lot. People hate their noses, and fake noses just are so disproportioned. Even the contouring to me sometimes makes them so extreme. They look so narrow and silly.
Yeah, no, that's why it's like, how much is too much? I feel like if you get a little bit done and
Yeah.
you still look like yourself.
Right.
Cool.
Like if I'm the best version of myself, whatever, like I'll put some retinol on because I'm getting my little crow's feet and stuff and maybe stave that off a little bit. But like ultimately, what am I going to do? Like,
Exactly.
I can't afford crazy stuff and I don't want to either because I still want to be me. Even when I got married, when I was my makeup consultation, I'm like, I still want to be me. Like, don't make me look like somebody else.
Yeah, I think it's weird when you start not looking like yourself.
Yeah.
That's when
Like
you've gone
the
too far.
catfish girls and stuff where they're like totally different. Cool that you can do that.
Yep.
But like, just be
Just
you.
tone it
boo.
down a little
Be
bit.
You.
Yep. So I pulled up some images of some celebrities that I feel have gone a little bit too far. First, we got Lil' Kim. And the craziest thing is, in the 90s, Lil' Kim was like how Nicki Minaj or any of the female rappers are
Yeah.
today. And I was like, oh, she's like a bad bitch. She really loves herself. She knows herself. No, I have learned that that's not the case because she's gotten so much plastic surgery. Did she really like herself? I don't
Apparently
think so.
not.
Exactly. So I'm like, you're not the bad bitch I thought you were.
Oh,
And then Madonna, because of course.
man, this one just hurts me. Madonna's such an icon. Why you got to change your face?
Yeah, it was not, she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to do that.
She didn't. She looks so silly now. It's too much.
And I know there's probably going to be some people on the internet,
Stop hating on Madonna, no Kim. They let them be.
but like, no. We have opinions too, dog on it. And this episode is about beauty and why we're so obsessed with beauty and the fountain of youth. So.
Well, I know there's been instances of people who get addicted to plastic surgery, just like getting tattoos sometimes. Like some people just can't stop.
Yeah.
And it's not, they don't even find it aesthetically pleasing. They just
have to keep doing
They have to keep doing it.
obsession.
Yeah. It's probably like any other body dysmorphia kind of situation,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Very true. Very true. So you were talking about like the procedures that are done, which is like the nose job, and that's one of the most popular ones. So I wanted to talk about some of the most popular procedures in America is the liposuction,
Let's go.
breast augmentation, nose reshaping, facelifting, and BBL Drizzy.
Oh my gosh.
BBL
So we
Drizzy.
were watching some game show
Uh-huh.
and Patton Oswalt was hosting. I don't remember, but he's like, what would you do if you won? And she's, I'm getting a BBL. And he's like, what's that? And she's like, a Brazilian butt lift. She did not win. So no BBL for her.
Good.
But that was so crazy to me. Like, that's the thing. And you're going to go on national TV and be like,
No.
you don't think people are going to know? Like, they're
And
not going to be able to
also,
tell?
You kind of run risk of bad things happening if you have like a bad doctor and stuff like that. There's like that whole
It's
show
so
called
scary.
Botched.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and it's like botched
Did we
surgery.
not learn anything from Nip Tuck when that was Come on.
Exactly. Goodness gracious. But I wanted to shout out Pamela Anderson because she's embracing her age and trying to reverse the plastic surgery trend by being like,
Yeah.
I'm older. I'm not gonna put the makeup on. This is who I am.
Good for her.
And here's the funniest thing about while I was making this episode. I kid you not. This is the funny thing. I put Pamela Anderson on the slide, right? As soon as I did, ding, ding, I hear a knock on the door. And Bob is my mom. I call her Bob. And she's the little Alexa is telling her, Alexa notifications that your Amazon shipping has arrived. I was like, oh, what'd you get? So I open up her package. And this is what it is. Liquid Youth, premium collagen peptides.
Bob trying to look young.
Yeah.
She wants to be good for your wedding.
Well, she's been doing this for a long time, but yes. But yes.
I mean, there's a difference to me, like taking care of yourself and being like keeping your body the best way possible, like what you put in it, you know, having a skincare routine, like all of that. I'm way too unfocused. Every time I try to like make a nighttime routine, I do it for like a week and then it's whatever. And then it's like, oh yeah, I should do that again. So I'm not going to expect super good results because I'm not consistent.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty.
And I'm not willing to just throw money away on the off chance it'll work. So it's like, I'll do the minimum.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Call it good.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I mean, I could get behind that, Bob.
Yeah.
Go to youth. That's fine.
So whether we're making statues of our wives, painting pretty pictures of women, fashioning ourselves in the images of gods, chasing the fountain of youth, seeking beauty is uniquely a human trait. I just thought it was very interesting. That's kind of why I went down this route.
Is it though?
There's a lot of.
Is it though? Because a lot of mating rituals in different species include some sort of fun dance moves and showing off your feathers.
This is true. Almost like all the pretty birds are like male because they got to get like the basic dish.
Which is weird because in human it's the women who are beautiful.
Yeah.
But who cares what the guys do? It's not fair.
It's true.
Double standards.
It's within nature, I guess.
The patriarchy.
That too.
And birds don't got to worry about that.
Right.
But really, even whales, they have like these elaborate dances that they'll do as part of getting their mate's attention.
It's all about getting some.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
This is all this ends up being.
How do we perpetuate our existence?
Yes.
Yep. Make it pretty.
Yes, make it pretty. Well, that's the little end of my segment. I want to segue it back to Purple Easel because that's where we work.
Yeah.
We're here in the studio, Purple Easel. And I wanted to bring out a shout out or give a shout out to Jacqueline Carey. This is a Google review. And she says, this place was amazing. Its setup was wonderful, that the people who worked there were fantastic. The teacher was great. It was so much fun. And the place is just beautiful. Please go there.
Please go there.
Yeah, I know. That's why I put this. I was like, please go there. I'm like, yeah, just do what you said.
Just do it. Yeah, Jacqueline said, because go here for Paint Your Pet, for Neon Nights, for secret paintings. Everybody's always like, about secret paintings when I talk about them on stage. I'm just like, their mind is blown. Like, why would people do that? But then once I say, I was like, people enjoy the process and not as worried about the final result. And they're like,
It's more of an acceptance.
Yeah.
Versus like, did I do this right? Did I do this
exactly.
right? You're not knowing if you're doing it right.
Along, enjoying the journey. So I love me some secret paintings.
Me too. I do too.
But we got lots of cool things here at Purple Eagles.
Yeah. So come on down. And again, we are also on X, YouTube, Instagram. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, ring that bell, add to the conversation, comment.
Please comment. We love the comments.
Yes, absolutely. And don't forget to check out our Purple Easel Plus as well, because if you aren't in California or SoCal, you can also paint with us online and you can do your little things, drink your little wine at home. And
always a viable option. So who we have?
We have an amazing, talented makeup artist, but it's the craziest makeup art you've ever seen in your entire life, I swear to God.
All right, let's do it. I'm excited.
Her name is Mimi Choi, and her handle is at Mimils. Mimile. Mimile. She's a makeup artist, and check this out. This is her actual face.
What?
You can sort of see the lips and a little.
This is Trump Deloy.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Watch last week's episode.
Yes, for that.
Wow.
So she does illusions. And the thing is okay, I urge you, you got to watch this episode, but I urge you to go to her Instagram to see her move. Because sometimes you can't. You don't know what it is until she blinks, and then you see her actual face. Because everything looks like...
It's in a different spot?
Yes.
Picasso'd?
Yep.
Wow.
This is her face.
What is
It's just-
happening?
You can see from like the right side of the ear how this is left out. So you can see like, okay, this is her actual face continued on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Like she plays on perspective and like the illusion and all that stuff. And so, yeah, that's
Just the earring coming over the lip. Like,
right. It's crazy. It's crazy. You gotta see it. This one's pretty good. It's just her hand.
Yeah. Ugh.
But it looks so realistic. It's so good. It's beautiful. It matches like with the beauty, but it also has a twist to it.
This gives me so much Pan's Labyrinth, the Pale Man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
Right? This is her just showing off her art. I had to show what she like next to the brush to her leg just to show you
Yeah.
that it's her leg.
Yeah. That it's
That makes sense.
actually her body.
Yeah.
What?
And it's really cool, right?
The time it must take.
Right? I was thinking the same. Like, I wonder how much.
And this is like just going to wash off.
Yeah.
That's the nutsy part. Sorry, I really got to learn to turn the alarm off.
So she had
Oh my gosh.
many that I couldn't put all of them. I'm just gonna, I just had to screenshot my Instagram reel.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, this one, the bottom middle, that's her face. But she moves and then you can tell.
Yeah.
Otherwise you can't tell. The one on the top left here with her hand going inside her
What?
face, it's just her palm doing like one of these numbers. Like,
yeah.
or wait, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just the
but it's
fingers are painted. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like super Beetlejuice vibes. I'm so excited for the new movie. I hope they don't ruin it.
I have a feeling they're not going to.
I'm
But
hopeful. I'm optimistic
Me too.
because it has a good cast.
Yes.
Enough of the original players like Michael Keaton. I like Jenna Ortega.
yeah.
Let's hope.
Yeah,
Let's
same.
hope.
Same.
Wow. The ramen. Oh, yeah. She's just slurping on the noodles coming from her head.
Yeah.
It's fine. Wow, this is so dark and twisted, but like pretty at the same time.
Yeah, I really like this cheeseburger, like the double cheeseburger one. Because she'll blink and then you'll see her face.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Well, that's the other thing, right? Like she's painting over her eyes.
Yeah.
And she has to have it closed. Like I barely was able to do my eyeliner today. Like that's hard. I suck at it.
Yeah, no, I was doing my under because I'm blind now because I'm old. So I was like, oh, I don't have my glasses and I don't have like, yes.
So I'm like, okay, if I want eye makeup, I'm just gonna have to put contacts in because otherwise I can't see what I'm doing in order to do it.
Yeah.
So here we are. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, really good, right? Mind bending, pretty dark, twisted, but beautiful. All face
But it
alteration.
really does go back to like how far are you willing to go and when does it change from being beautiful to being grotesque? Because this is definitely skirting the line.
It's like Garbage Pail Kids.
Is it?
You took something really nice and like pretty and then
Sweet and yeah.
but there's like a place for it. There's a place for maybe that's just what it is with the plastic surgery. I don't know. There's a place for this worded beauty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, everybody comes in different shapes and sizes. And the fact that we try to meet some standard, some arbitrary standard that's ever changing as we can see through history. Don't kill yourself over it. Like just
Yeah, that's the main goal. Don't kill yourself.
yeah. Yes. Mental health is important, folks.
So I have a question for you, Megan.
I'm sure you do.
My question is, have you ever started a trend?
This is a really hard question. I mean, I'm sure little things like within my group of friends sort of situations. But you know, I feel like I missed out, honestly. I never had a goth phase. I never did like the super pop pop punk princess, even though I was into pop punk music. I was just oversized clothes, kind of hiding my body for most of my youth growing up. And so I feel like now I'm like, maybe I should have more fun with myself. Like maybe do some funky hair colors or, whatever. But I miss that I didn't get that a little bit. And so I'm kind of going through it now. So maybe I'll start a trend. We just haven't discovered it yet.
Yeah, it's never too late.
Who knows?
I want to be an old lady that wears wigs.
All right, like colorful wigs?
No,
or just like different shapes? Okay,
just
so you're
shape.
going to be Moira from,
Yeah.
Perfect. As long as you name them all, I approve. What about you? Have you started any trends?
Okay, no, but I do want to tell you this one story.
Go on.
A lot of the older Purple Easel folks here, I've told them this story and I'm mad about it till this day.
All right, here we go.
Back in the days, I was a huge tomboy, so I had a wallet in my back pocket. I had like what do you call those watches? The pocket
Pager?
watch.
Pocket watch. Oh, right on.
Had a pocket watch. And the thing is, when I played Dance Dance Revolution, because I was bigger than that, and I would you can hear my pocket watch and like shit in my jeans. That was kind of my thing, right? I wore baggy jeans, but then I would wear like a collared button-up shirt with a tie, right? With a tie. Then Avril Lavigne came along, ruined my whole thing.
Because then you were copying.
She was copying me. I started the trend first. I just want to say, for the record, I wore that first before Avril Lavigne came along with her ties and whatnot.
But we still love you, Avril. We still love you.
Oh yeah, I still like.
This
Avril.
is
It's fine.
making me think of Game of Thrones. It's like fandoms, right? And I'm sure this happens to a lot of people, but like, I liked Game of Thrones before everybody knew what Game of Thrones was. I read the books before there was a show. Damn it! Like,
Yeah.
There's kind of like this possessiveness of it,
I did it for her,
which is stupid because why would you gatekeep something that's amazing when you want to share it? And that's how I feel about like Star Wars and all those things where people get so into the fandoms, like, oh, it's terrible. They did it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're getting to spend more time in a universe that you love with characters that are awesome. Like
chill.
Get over it. Just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like Avril. It's fine. It's totally fine.
We love you, Avril. Yeah. It's cool. She's making music still.
Is she?
Yeah, that's cool.
I did not know.
There's a lot of people kind of coming out of the woodwork that have been making music all along,
Lady
but like
Gaga,
haven't dropped anything recently. Like Green Day is coming back. Blink, came out again. So there's a lot. There's a lot of nostalgic opportunities for us.
Yay. Well, that concludes our episode because we will get into a millennial rant if we don't stop it now.
Yeah. So thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to check out today's artist, Mimi Choi, in the links below.
Visit purpleeaselplus.com to paint with the world's largest paint sip studio online.
And if you're in Southern California, come by the studio and paint with us. In the meantime, create more and create often.
Bye.